back to my channel. So today we are going to be doing another exciting video. We are going to be making a crochet skirt. I don't think I've done any crochet tutorial on my channel, so this is going to be the first one. So you're going to need your yarn, and today I'm going to be using this milk cotton in this color. I don't know what color this is, but anyway, so this color. I'm also going to be using the milk cotton for the waistband, because we're going to start with the waistband, of course. For the waistband, I'm going to be using a 4mm hook, and then you're going to need some scissors, and you're going to need a tape measure. Okay, the first thing you're going to do is you are going to take your high waist measurements, and mine is 28. So I'm going to show you what to do, but first let's start. Okay, so you're going to take your yarn, you are going to make a slip knot, and don't worry about my hand, I injured myself, just ignore it. So the first thing you're going to do is make a slip knot like that, and then you are going to make you're going to chain 2, and then you are going to go into the first one like that, wrap your yarn, come out of the stitch, you have to, and then you're going to yarn over and go through 1, and then you're going to yarn over and go through 2. Okay, and then you are going to go back. This was the first one, so you're going to go back to this one, the one we removed only one. You're going to go into that stitch, yarn over, go through it, go through 1. So this is going to be our next stitch to work on, and then go through 2. So putting your hand on the stitch you're going to work through, it's going to make it easier for you to remember. So go through it, remove one, loop, and then you put your, you mark it, you put your thumb there, and then you remove 2, and then now you know this is the stitch you're going to be working on. Here it is. So I'm going to make 15 of this. So what I'm doing is, once I remove one, like when I remove one, that is a chain, like the normal chain that we do, like 15, and then you do single crochets. So the one I'm removing one is a chain, and then when I remove 2, that's a single crochet. So I'm working 2 things at the same time. Instead of making 15 chains and then I go back with a single stitch crochet, which you can also do, is basically the same thing. Instead of that, I'm just putting them together. I'm working 2 at the same time. So these ones, once I'm removing 1, they're going to be the chain, and then these ones that I'm removing 2, they're going to be the single crochets. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 5 more. 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So this is what you're going to be working on. So what you're going to do next, so that you can turn, you're just going to add 1 more like that, and then you're going to chain 1, turn your work around. We're going to skip that one, and go into the next one, and we're going to be working on the back loops only. So you're going to turn your work upwards, and then you have this you have the stitches over here, and then you have the other ones on the other side. So those ones are the ones we're going to be working on. So just go into the first one, I mean the second one, because we're skipping the first one. So just go into the second one with a single crochet, continue working your way until you get to the last one, and we're just using single crochets for the band. And the last one, there you go. So this is what we're going to be repeating. So just chain one, turn your work again, then you're going to start with the first one, just place single crochets back and forth until you have enough for your waistband. When it comes to the last stitch, I just love placing my stitch on both loops. And you're going to chain one, turn your work around, start working from the first one, and last one we're just going to place it on both loops, chain one. So we're just going to be repeating that until you have enough for your waistband. So like I said, mine goes all the way to 28, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make enough stitches, I mean enough rows that will probably come to 23. When I stretch it out, I think it's going to go to 28, but first we're just going to test it out. So just make sure once you have a few rows, keep stretching and then seeing if it gets to your your high waist measurements. Okay, so this is what I've made. I don't know how many rows there are, but we're just going to measure it. So that is almost 20 inches, as you can see. And when it's stretched out, let me stretch it out for you guys. See, it goes all the way to almost 30. As you can see, it goes all the way to almost 30. That is when it's really stretched out. So it may seem like it's tiny, but it's actually going to fit. So the next thing we are going to do, we're going to take a smaller hook. This is my 3.5 millimeter hook, and this is my 3 millimeter hook. So I'm going to use the 3 millimeter hook to join these two together. So what you're going to do, you're just going to attach this side and this other side, and since they are both 15, they should be equal. So just place your hook into the next side, both stitches. Oh, sorry, I'm going to start from this side, sorry. And then go into that single crochet that we completed with, like that. Then go through, and then you're going to go through the next stitch. We are going to take one stitch, and then we're going to attach it to the next stitch of the other side, then slip stitch, take one side from this side, one side from this other side, and slip stitch, one side, one side, and slip stitch. So just do that for all of them. I've actually decided to just work with a 3mm hook because I want my work to not be see-through, so I need it to be like small. Using a small hook is going to make the stitches smaller. So I already did the first single crochet, so we're going to move on to the next one. This is a single crochet row, place one single crochet. This is a single crochet row, so I'm just going to place it on the bridge. This is a single crochet row, place one single crochet. Then on this one, place one single crochet, one single crochet, one single crochet. So you're just going to do that until you get to the end. Like that. So keep working single crochets until you get to the starting point, and then I'll see you guys then. Okay, so I'm getting towards the end, and then you're just going to get a point there, like a stitch, and just place one single crochet, and then on the bridge that we just made to attach the two, make a single crochet, and then you're going to attach that to the first single crochet we made. Attach it with a slip stitch like that. So that is your row 1. Okay, so now we are going to row 2, and for row 2 we are going to chain 2. We are going to be working double crochets, and for row 2 we are going to be, we're not going to start increasing on row 2, we're going to start increasing on row 3. So what we're going to do is we need to accommodate the hip area because that is bigger. For me, my hip size is 38, so I'm going to have to increase this to accommodate my hips. I'm going to be working with double crochets because I just like how it comes out when it's double crochet or half double crochet. You can use either half double crochet or double crochet, the process is still the same. So you're just going every single crochet stitch that we made is going to get a double crochet. Okay, no increasing, just place one double crochet in every single crochet space, and we're going to start with that first one, the one we chained 2 from. That is going to be our first stitch, like that, and then you're going to continue placing double crochets. So this is how your work should look like. So continue placing one double crochet in every single crochet space, and then I'm going to see you guys once I'm done with this row. Okay, so now I am almost towards the end. So I'm going to attach this to the first chain 2 that we did. So you're done with your row 1. So what you're going to do next is you're going to get stitch markers, and then we are going to identify the middle of this skirt. Okay, so these are my stitch markers. So what we're going to do is just identify the middle point, which I think is this. So we're going to place one stitch marker on that corner, and then we're going to place the other one on this other side, like that. Okay, and then we're going to use the other two. I'll show you where we're going to use them. So after this, we are going to chain 2, turn our work around, and then we're going to make double crochets on top of the double crochets we made. Okay, so now when you get to your stitch marker, just remove the stitch marker, and we're going to place 2 half double crochets there, like that. Then you're going to place a stitch marker in the middle, and then in the next one you're going to make 2 half double crochets. Okay, so then you're going to continue with 1 half double crochet, one double crochet all the way until you get to the next stitch marker. So again, when you get to the next stitch marker, you're going to place 2 double crochets in that stitch. And then 2 more double crochets in the next stitch. And then you're going to continue with your double crochets until you get to the end. Okay, so once we get to the end, that is our end. So you're going to attach this to the first double crochet that we made, or chain 2 that we made. So that is our first increase. So for this we're going to be doing 2 increases, 2 normal rows. By normal rows I mean rows that we're not going to increase anything. So the next row is also going to be another increase. So you're going to chain 2, and since we came this way, now we came this way, now we're going to be going this other side. So you're going to start with that very first stitch there. So basically we're just going to be repeating what we did in the previous row. So we're getting towards the first stitch marker. So on these increases, on these 4 increases, we are going to do 4 more increases. Okay, I hope you get what I'm saying. So you're going to remove the stitch marker. You are going to place 2 half double crochets there. Okay, and then on the second one you're also going to place 2 half double crochets there. So we made 4 on the 2 that we had done. So the stitch marker, you're going to return it to in the middle. You're going to return it in the middle of the 2 and 2, so in the middle of the 4 there. Okay, then after that you're going to remove the next stitch marker. You are going to place 2 double crochets in that space and 2 more in that space, in the next space I mean. And then you're going to take your stitch marker, place it in the middle of the 4 double crochets that we just did, like that. So after that you are going to continue placing 1 double crochet in every space, in every double crochet space, until you get to the next 2 stitch markers. So you're going to remove the stitch marker, do the same thing that we did, place 2 double crochets in that first stitch, and then 2 more in the next stitch. And then you're going to take a stitch marker and return it into the middle of the 4 double crochets. Remove the second one. Remove the second one and place 2 double crochet in the first stitch, 2 more double crochets in the next stitch. Okay, that's quite tight, but we are going to cut this part out, or we're just going to hide it. Okay, and then after that you're going to take your stitch marker, locate the middle section, and then place it, the middle section of the 4 double crochets that we did. And then after that you are just going to place 1 double crochet in every double crochet space until you get to the end. Now you are at the end. Just going to attach that to the first chain 2 that we did, like that. So we have done 2 increases. Now you're going to do 2 normal rows. Okay, so you're going to chain 2, turn your work around, and then now we are going to be placing 1 double crochet in every, we're going to place 1 double crochet in every double crochet space, just 1, no increasing, and we're going to start with that first one over there. So just place 1 and move, 1 and move, no increasing on this row. Okay, so now when you get to the stitch marker, you're just going to remove it. You are going to place 1 double crochet there, and then you're going to return the stitch marker. So that is going to tell us where we're going to increase next. Then you're going to chain 1 double crochet in the next one, 1 double crochet in the next one, 1 double crochet in the next one, then remove the stitch marker, place 1 double crochet there. Okay, then return the stitch marker, and then continue working 1 double crochet until you get to the next stitch markers, and then you're going to do exactly the same thing. So we're going to do that for 2 rows. This is going to be the first row, then the second row, and then I'm going to meet you guys on the 3rd row where we're going to start increasing again. Okay, So just do the same thing that we have done here. You're just going to go all around, remove the stitch marker, place 1 double crochet there, return the stitch marker, continue placing 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, and then remove the stitch marker, place 1 double crochet there, return the stitch marker, and then just continue working until you get to this point. And then you're going to do another row exactly the same, and then now the third row is going to be an increase row. So I'm going to meet you guys on the increase row because we're just repeating the same thing, and then I'll show you how to increase now after we have changed the stitch markers. Okay guys, so I am done with my 2 normal rows. We did 2 increases, 2 normal rows, so now we are going to go back to our increases. So you're just going to chain 2 like I did, and then you're going to start your double crochet from the start, from the first stitch, and then just work double crochets until you get to where the stitch marker is. Okay, so now we are where the stitch marker is. Just remove the stitch marker, and then you're going to place 2 half double crochets in that stitch, and then you're going to return the stitch marker. After that, you're just going to chain 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, and then you're going to place 2 double crochets on the next stitch. Then you're going to return your stitch marker, and then you're going to work double crochets until you get to the next side where the stitch markers are, and then we're basically going to repeat the same thing. So the reason I'm leaving some spaces because I want the increases to be spread out on that hip area, not just concentrated on one spot. I don't know whether you understand. Hopefully you're going to understand once I'm done. Okay, so now we are on our next 2 stitch markers. So you're just going to remove it. We're just repeating the same thing we did. You're going to place 2 double crochets there. Okay, and then you're going to place this in the middle. Place 1 double crochet, place 1 double crochet, place 1 double crochet, and then you get to the next stitch marker, place 2 double crochets in that same stitch, turn your stitch marker, and then you're going to work double crochets until you get to the end. Okay, so do that until you get to the end, and then you're going to chain 2, turn your work around, and then you're going to work on this side. I will see you guys once I get to the stitch marker. So we're just repeating the same thing. 2 double crochets until this point, single stitch them together, and then chain 2, turn your work around, start working this way, and then once we get to where the stitch markers are, I'm going to see you guys there. Okay, so now we are on to our second row, and we are close to where the stitch marker is. So you're going to take off the stitch marker, and then you're going to make 2 double crochets in the first increase, the first stitch which we increased. Then you're going to make 2 more double crochets in the next one. Okay, and then after that we are going to put this in the middle, just like we did before, the middle of the 4, because there are 4. These were 2 increases, these are going to be 4. Okay, and then you're just going to place 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, and then remove the stitch marker and place 4 double crochets in the next 2 stitches. So place two double crochets in one stitch and 2 double crochets in the next. Then you're going to take a stitch marker and put it in the middle of the 4, like that. So those are your increases again. Then you're going to chain 1 double crochet. You're going to make 1 double crochet in every double crochet space until you get to the next stitch markers, and then you're going to do exactly the same thing, and then that is going to be your second increase. So continue working until you get here, and then you're going to remove the stitch marker. You're going to place 2 double crochets in the first stitch, 2 double crochets in the next stitch, the increase, and then place 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, and then once you get to the increases again, you're going to place 2 double crochets in the first one and 2 double crochets in the next one. Okay, and then you're just going to work your way and then get to this point. I'll see you guys on some there. Okay, so I am done with my 2 increases. This is how it looks like right now. So that is 11 inches, and we want to go all the way to around 15. Okay, so that it can have space to stretch. So right now we are at 11 and we need to go all the way to around 15. So I'm going to do 3 more increases, so that will make them 5 increases. So I'm going to make 3 more increases and we're going to see where we are going to be at after that. So just remember, just keep measuring and make sure you leave a few inches from where your outfit is supposed to end at. Okay, so for me, if it's 19, I'm going to make 15. So I'm going to have 1, 2, 3 inches left to make the skirt a little bit stretchable, because this is very stretchable. So just make around 15 and leave a few inches. You can leave 3, you can leave 4, but don't leave a lot. Just leave around 3 inches or 4 inches. Okay guys, so I actually just did 3 increases for now. I wanted to show you something before I continue. So our target is to do 5 increases for starters, depending on your hip size, but we just wanted to do 5 increases first. So my work right now is at 13 and I wanted to get at 15 when it's not stretched. So maybe when it's stretched, it's going to go all the way to around 18, but we're going to see if we're going to do any more increases. But for now it's at 13. So after 3 increases, you should have 9 stitches in between your stitch markers. The first increase we had 3 stitches in between. The second increase we had 6 stitches in between the increases, in between the stitch markers, and the third increase we're going to have 9 stitches in between the stitch markers. Okay, so you can count those: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So I wanted my increases to be spread out on the hip area, but after this I'm not going to continue increasing on this direction. So what you're going to do is you're just going to remove your stitch markers, all of them. Once you get to the third increase, I think you're just going to be doing 3 increases and then you remove the stitch markers and start all over again. Okay, because I want the increases to be concentrated on this hip area, not on this other side, not on the front or at the back of the skirt, just the hip area. So after this, you're just going to determine, you're just going to figure out the middle, that, and then you're going to place your stitch marker just like we did in the beginning when you started increasing, and then take the other stitch marker and place it in the middle stitch, like that. So after that, you're just going to work, you're just going to continue doing what we have been doing. just work single crochets until you get to where the stitch marker is. And for single crochets, I mean for not single crochet, double crochet, we are going to start with that very first stitch. Place a double crochet there. And then continue placing double crochets until you get to the stitch marker. Okay, so now we are almost to the stitch marker. So you're going to take out the stitch marker. You are going to make 2 double crochets in that one stitch. Place your stitch marker in the middle of the 2. And then in the next one, you are going to also make 2 double crochets in the next stitch marker. Like that. Place the stitch marker in between the 2. And then you're going to continue working your double crochets until you get to the next stitch marker. Okay, so now we are almost to the next stitch marker. Just have 1 stitch, make a double crochet, and then you're going to remove the stitch marker. You are going to place 2 double crochets there. Place back the stitch marker, and then in the next stitch you're going to make 2 double crochets like that. And then you're just going to continue with your double crochets until you get to the end. And then you're just going to repeat what we have been doing. So you're just going to do double crochets until you get to this point. And then after that, you are going to do the next row. And then the stitch markers, where the stitch markers are, you are going to place 2 double crochets here, 2 double crochets here, 2 double crochets here, and 2 double crochets here. Okay, just the same thing we've been doing before. So we're just going to increase. So this is going to be my 4th increase, and then the next increase, that's where I'm going to end my work. So don't forget that we're doing 2 increases, 2 normal rows. So after the next row, you're going to do 2 normal rows, which means you're just going to do 2 rows with no increase at all, just 1 double crochet in every double crochet stitch. Okay, so just continue that. I'm going to see you once I have my 5 increases, and then I'm going to let you know what to do after that. Okay, so after that, after our 5 increases, let's just measure where we at right now. So that actually goes to 16, so I'm past the 15 mark that I made, which is also okay because I'm supposed to go all the way to 19. So this is going to give it a little bit of a stretch. So once it's stretched out, it goes all the way to 20, which is almost 40 inches. So yeah, that is perfect. So we're just going to continue working. So at this point, you're just going to remove your stitch markers. Now you don't need them anymore. Once you hit the your hip measurements, you can just remove the stitch markers. So I'm done with my increase. This is where I ended my increase. So we have 4 increases over here and 4 increases over here. So after that, over here. So after that, we're just going to do 2 normal rows where no increasing anything, and then after that I will let you know if we're going to do any more rows. You can just try you can just try it on yourself and see where it goes. If it goes all the way below your bum, then you're going to know that it's a good length, because after that now we're going to start reducing so that, you know, it can be like a pencil skirt. Okay, so I'm going to do 2 normal rows, and then I'm going to see after I'm done with the 2 normal rows, and then we're going to see where we at. Okay, so I actually did 4 rows. Sorry, after the increase row, which is this one, I did 1, 2, 3, and 4 rows, normal rows, just normal rows. So after this, we're going to start decreasing, because we want to make this into a pencil skirt, like I said. So what you're going to do, we are going to be decreasing the first row. We are going to do 4 decreases. Okay, so we're going to decrease somewhere here. This is just, you're just going to make this up. There's no formula for it. This is how I do it. So I'm going to decrease 1 over here, 1 over here, and then 2 around this area. Okay, so make 1 double crochet in every double crochet space. So I'm going to do about around 10 double crochets, and then I'm going to decrease. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, that's a good spot to decrease. So I'm going to chain 1 to make 1 double crochet, but I'm going to just remove 2. I'm not going to complete it. Then I'm going to wrap my yarn around my hook, go into the next stitch, make a double crochet. I'm not going to complete it, so I have 3 loops on my hook. Then I'm going to wrap my yarn around my hook and go through all 3. So that is a decrease, and then we're going to make just continue making double crochets. So I'm going to make double crochets all the way until I get around this area, and then we're going to decrease again. Okay, so I did, after we reduced, I did double crochets all the way around. So we're going to just continue, and I'm going to reduce around here. So just continue with your double crochets. So now I'm just going to make 1 decrease over here. So again, make a double crochet but don't complete it. Wrap around your hook again, go into the next stitch, make a double crochet but don't complete it, and then you have 3 loops on your hook, and then you're going to remove all of them. Then you're going to just continue working double crochets. So the next decrease, let's see where we at. The next decrease is going to be around here. So let's just make around 5 more double crochets. Okay, so let's start decreasing like we just did on the other 3 decreases. So that's another decrease. So just go. So now we are working towards this side. So I'm going to make around 5 more, and then we're going to decrease. So this is going to be our 4th decrease. There we go. And then we're just going to finish it up. Okay, so now I'm done with the decrease row. I am going to do 2 rows of normal double crochet, just the same thing we were doing before, but right now we are just doing the opposite, like decreasing. Okay, so just continue working your normal double crochet. So we are going to work 2 normal double crochets, and then we are going to decrease again. So it's basically very simple. So what you're going to do is, because I don't want to keep repeating myself, okay? So this is what you have right now. We have already done 1 decrease, right? So you're going to place 1 double crochet in every double crochet space, including the one that we decreased. Where is the one we decreased on the side? Oh yeah, it is. So you're just going to place 1 on top right there, and then you're just going to continue. You're going to do 2 rows of just normal double crochet, and then after that you're going to decrease again. And for decreasing, we said, because you know where the middle section is, which is this area, you're going to decrease around here, just somewhere, and then you're also going to decrease around here. And then once you flip it to the front side, you're going to do 2 decreases just around here. It's up to you to choose, but make sure you have a little bit distance when you're reducing it. So just place 1 around here and then the next one around here. So that is what we're going to do. So we're going to work 2 normal rows, 1 decrease, 2 normal rows, 1 decrease, and you're going to do that until you have enough that you feel like it's the right length for you. And then after that, I'm going to show you how I'm going to end my work, because it's just basically repeating what we've been doing so far. So I don't want to keep repeating and showing you guys how to do that, because it's the same thing. So yeah, just continue working until you have enough for yourself, or enough length for yourself, and then I'm going to see you guys once I'm done, and I'm going to let you know how many decreases I did. Okay, so yeah, I'll see you. Okay, so now this is what we have. This is how the skirt looks like so far, and that is how many inches. That is around 16 inches, or almost 16 and a half. So once I did my 1 decrease, I only did 1 decrease at the end and then 1 normal row, and I did 14 rows. Since I started decreasing, I've done 14 rows of decreases. So I mean 14 rows, 1 decrease, 2 normal rows. But also, okay, this is something else I wanted to clear up. You don't have to do 4 decreases here, here, and then 2 here. If you feel like your work is kind of big, if your hip size is way bigger and you need to reduce it more, you can do more decreases. You can do around 2 decreases, 2 decreases, 4 decreases. So you can do 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can do 8 decreases in 1 row and then 2 normal rows. Okay, so it depends if your work is getting smaller faster, or it's not. If it's not, just 2 more decreases. Okay, I hope you understand what I'm saying. Like for me, this one was not too big, so I just did 4 decreases in every row, except 1 row where I did 6 decreases because I wanted it to reduce a little bit faster. But yeah, you can add your decreases. It's all up to you. Okay, so once you're done with your decreases, this is what I'm going to do at the end of my skirt. I wanted to get to around 18 inches. I think 18 inches is okay. So I changed 2 after finishing my work. So you're just going to add 2 more to make them 4, like that. And then you're going to wrap yarn around your hook, and then you're going to skip 1 stitch and go into the next stitch with a double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, go into the next one with a double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, chain 1, skip 1. So that is what we're going to do for the next row. You chain 1, you skip 1, and you make a double crochet in the next space. Okay, so this is what you should have. So continue doing that until you get to the end, and then I'm going to see you once I'm here. And now we are almost towards the end. There you go. Skip one and attach it to the first one that you made. So this is going to be our row, as you can see. So we're going to just place another one on top of that one. You are going to chain 1, 2, 3, 4, turn your work around. Now you're going to be working backwards. So you're going to go on top of the double crochet we just made. So make a double crochet on top of that one, the first double crochet we made. Chain 1, make your next double crochet on top of the other one. So you're just going to be placing one double crochet on top of the double crochets that we already made in the previous row. Okay. There we go. So this is what you should have. So do that for the whole row, and then you'll just join in the third stitch on that first chain 4 that we made. Okay, so I am done with the second row. So this is what we have right now. We're just going to measure it and see. So far I want you to get to 18. So far we are at 17. So far it's exactly at 17 and I want you to get to 18. So I'm going to make one more row of these meshy things, and then I'm going to show you how to end your work. So just make another row of that mesh. So you're just going to chain 4. I've already chained 2, so 3, 4, and then you are going to make double crochets, chain 1 on top of the double crochets that we made in the second row. So double crochet, chain 1, double crochet in the next double crochet space. Okay, now I'm done with the third one. So now we are going to finish up. This is going to be our last row. So you're just going to chain up 2. Oh no, you're going to chain up 3, and then you're going to make 5 more double crochets in that first space. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So I've made 5 double crochets, including the one that we chained 3. That is going to be 6 of them. And then in the next space you're going to just make 1 single crochet. In the next space you're going to make 1 single crochet. So in the third space you're going to make 6 double crochets. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. In the next space make a single crochet. The next space make a single crochet. In the next one make 6 double crochets. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then in the next one make a single crochet. The next one make a single crochet. In the next one make 6 double crochets. That. So this is what you should have. So you're going to make that all around your skirt, and then I'll see you guys once you're done. Like that. So this is what you should have. So do that all around the skirt, and this is going to be the hem of our skirt. So do that all around, and then I'll meet you guys here once I'm done. Okay, so I'm almost towards the end, and I've already made my 2 single crochets. So I'm going to be working on this one, and we only have 1 remaining. So just make your 6 double crochets there. Six, and then we are going to make 1 single crochet in that space, that, and then I'm going to make 1 in that first space that we made, but I'm going to make a slip stitch like that. Okay, and then I'm going to chain 1 and then cut my yarn out. So I'm going to leave a tail so that I can weave in the end, because I don't want the end to be visible. So this is what I have once I'm done. This is how the skirt looks. I'm actually loving this so much. It looks so beautiful and I cannot wait to wear it. But yeah, so that is all. This is how I make my skirts, and this is going to have a top, and it's going to be available as a 2-piece on my Instagram page. So if you want to buy one, just let me know on my Instagram page. But it's going to have a top. I'm going to share that on my Instagram page. But basically, this is how I make a skirt. I hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah, I cannot wait to see you guys recreating it, if any of you are going to recreate it. And I hope you tag me on my Instagram page at Philly Crochet. Anyways, that was all. I'll see you guys next time with a new video. Yeah, have a nice day, take care of yourself, and I'll see you guys next time.